The cell is the fundamental unit of life. All living organisms, from the simplest bacteria to human beings, are made up of cells. We can say that the cell is the smallest structure that possesses all the characteristics of life: metabolism, growth, reproduction, and response to the environment. The discovery of cells dates back to the 17th century, when English scientist Robert Hooke observed the structure of cork through a primitive microscope and described small rooms, which he called cells. Since then, the cell theory, developed by Schleiden and Schwann, established that all living things are composed of cells and that every cell originates from a pre-existing one. Each cell is a microscopic yet incredibly complex organism. It is surrounded by the cell membrane, a thin, semi-permeable barrier that regulates what enters and leaves the cell. Inside lies the cytoplasm, a semi-fluid environment where most biochemical reactions occur. Within it are numerous organelles: mitochondria that generate energy, ribosomes that synthesize proteins, the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus that handle transport and processing of substances. At the center of eukaryotic cells is the nucleus, which contains the genetic material, DNA. This molecule is the organism's instruction manual, determining which proteins are produced, how the cell develops, and how it responds to stimuli. In simpler cells, such as bacteria, prokaryotic cells, the DNA floats freely in the cytoplasm. Although cells vary in shape and function, nerve cells, muscle cells, epithelial cells, blood cells, they share a common biological design. Their number also varies greatly. The human body contains over 37 trillion cells, working in harmony to sustain life. A cell is not merely a structural unit, it is a tiny universe. Within it lies the wisdom of nature and the intricate machinery of life itself. To understand the cell is to understand ourselves, because every thought, every breath, every movement begins there.